because we did a lot of work in Latin America. But as well, a gentleman named Bill Deutsch, and his methods for teaching people, his modes of communication are so on point with meeting people where they're at, that to be able to work with him and with the other people at Water Watch was, again, just an eye-opener for this person who trained reading books and listening to lectures and studying, to actually working with people that had true life experience with these things. And it was Bill told me a story one time. His story's much better, but I'll keep it super short. We do these biological assessments on creeks or water, and what we do is we catch what they call macroinvertebrates. Some are insects, to give you an idea, or crustaceans. And depending on who's there and how many, we can tell what the water quality is. Or if there's contaminations in it. Or if it's good, clean water, and let's go swimming, let's go fishing in it. He was doing these tests in the Philippines, in the mountains of the Philippines, and they were working with a small tribe of people up there that were working for water rights within their community, because the political system that had created itself around their indigenous homelands had taken away their water rights. So essentially their water was stolen from them while it was on their property. So what they were doing was working with Bill to learn how to monitor their water quality, because the politics involved cut the land up geographically and put a factory upstream, so it polluted all their water. So they knew they had to come with some science, with some modern day language, and with data to protect that water, because that water to them was a god. And Bill knew, he intuitively knew, he needed to talk to the shaman of the tribe, because that was the person that was going to have probably the most scientific, spiritual, liaison base within the tribe. Well, for him to speak with the shaman, he had to go through, I think it was like 72 hours of pretty intense challenges and things that he had to go through. And it makes me think of that old movie, A Man Called Horse, which, if you remember, the lead actor's a European American that's come over, and he's being introduced into this tribe. And I remember they put the hooks through his chest and had him hanging for a couple of days. It wasn't that intense for Bill, but he had to do a lot of stuff. So when he finally gets to meet with the shaman, they go down to the creek and they're talking, and there's an interpreter there, and the shaman's there. Bill's listening to the shaman speak, because it's a very, very, I don't even know how to equate to it. It might be like for many Americans being able to talk with the president or someone like that, the Queen of England. You feel like you should be able to receive a lot of wisdom. Right. I don't know, I use that loosely with these examples, but he was allowing the shaman the time to speak and listening. And when they get to the creek, or they get to the river, and they're standing there, and the shaman reaches down, and Bill says, well, what? He'd heard the whole story of the god and how it is, its presence on Earth is within this river, and how it gives life to the whole community, and how that's connected to all the lands. And when they get down to the river, the shaman picks up water like this, and he's letting it fall through his hands, and Bill's looking at it intensely, and the shaman says, you see what's not there? And he said, and Bill had been doing a water assessment, right? And he said, there's no hydropsyches in this water, which is a particular macroinvertebrate. Okay, hydropsyche in Latin means water spirit. Okay, this shaman said there is no spirit in this water, and that to me is the essence of that science and spiritual connection. Right. So to be able to meet those local trials we have within local tribes or communities, and then reach that level of acceptance to where they'll communicate with you.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time and effort and patience. It's things you don't learn in school.